last train to Hawthorne. Come on, won't you party with me? Party with me. Party with me. Party with me. Party with me. 5 different nachos.
Hello, you are listening to the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. I'm Caleb.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jeremy.
Oh, hello, Jeremy.
Hello.
Hello. All right, so first up, we will have your movie news.
Yes.
Along after that with Nintendo.
Inevitably.
Inevitably, definitely.
Thirdly, we will have your nerd vocab along with some more video game announcements. And then after that, we'll have your video game news because there was a lot this week.
Yeah.
And after that, we will have your technology news coming up lastly in the show. You guys introduced yourself, right?
Yes.
Yes,
All right.
of course.
Making
Loudly.
sure. Yes. Okay. I remember that now. Jeremy, why don't you go ahead and tell us all your social stuff? We'll get the social stuff out of the way first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can, we do our own show, which is over on iTunes, it's Zenspath Podcast, over at zenspath.com. Like I said, you can find it on iTunes. You can also hit me up on Twitter, at Zenspath. Pretty much just, I'm always on there. Just hit me up.
And you can follow us at Nerd Edification on Twitter. And then our Facebook page is the Nerd Edification Hour.
Yes, we post daily on Monday through Friday, at least, of this day in nerd history. So there's some pretty interesting stuff out there.
Oh, there you go.
And then the YouTube channel is Strangely Entertaining. That is one word, capital S and capital E. That's where I upload the show and where I post various gameplay stuff because I can, basically.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So, Jeremy, what's going on in the world of Pixar right now? What's going on there?
Well, they're pretty much asking the question or answering their own version. What if dinosaurs were still around? They got a new Pixar movie they showed off called The Good Dinosaur, which had a teaser that just released. No release date yet, but from the description of it, it's like kind of after a traumatic event unsettles a lively Apatosaurus named Arlo. I love how they always name those things. He sets out on a remarkable journey, gaining an unlikely companion along the way, of course, being a human boy.
Yeah,
Of course.
trailer itself was very interesting because it said, like, what if the dinosaurs, like that sort of thing, and, a 6-mile long asteroid goes for it, but what if it didn't hit us? And it shows the asteroid just narrowly missing the Earth, and all the dinosaurs look up, like, oh, what was that?
What?
Oh, shiny.
It's gone.
Pretty.
I'll continue eating now. Munch, munch.
Because in reality, there was, huge gaps of time between the end of the dinosaurs and the beginning of us, so. But that should be interesting.
Yeah, Pixar always does really, really well with their films.
They can make a lively movie about your emotions. I'm pretty sure they can.
Yes, exactly.
They can make some dinosaurs interact with people.
Right.
So, Warner Brothers had announced Monday that Eddie Redmayne?
Yes, Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne will portray Newt Scamander in
Newt Scamander.
Newt Scamander. So I should probably have Rachel do this one because I know nothing about this topic.
He's
Go
going to
ahead,
portray
Rachel.
Newt Scamander in J.K. Rowling's The Harry Potter spinoff. She's already wrote the screenplay for it. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Director David Yates said in the announcement today, Eddie is a fearless actor brimming with invention, wit, and humanity. I couldn't be more excited about the prospect of working with him as we start this new adventure in J.K. Rowling's wonderful world, and I know she feels the same way. So, I, for one, am very, very, very excited about it for several reasons. Because, A, Eddie Redmayne is a brilliant actor, and I know he will provide a very good portrayal of it. And he has a very interesting facial structure, which is probably one of the things that most of the fans have envisioned Newt Scamander to be very interesting looking, as opposed to just plain.
So
Right.
I've been told I look very interesting looking, with my chiseled features and stuff.
So moving on.
But I for one, am very excited about it. The last synopsis that was posted about the film was that it's set in 20s America. It's going to be the
20s.
primary. Yeah.
Predates a lot of this
Yeah,
stuff.
it's going to be the primary stuff.
Even Harry Potter can't get away from prequels.
Well, of course not. But they've also speculated, we might see a young Albus Dumbledore and whatnot, so that might be cool. There's also been speculation about Luna making an appearance as the narrator, because in the book, in canon, she actually marries Newt Scamander's grandson, and so she could be telling her
Let me tell you a
kids
story about
it.
your grandpappy.
Yeah,
It should be interesting.
great grandfather rather. But it's I'm really excited because Harry Potter was and is still a big part of my life, and I think a lot of other people our age. So it's great that they're still doing stuff with it.
It'll be nice to see them to actually kind of expand the universe a little bit more.
Oh, especially in the States. I mean, because they've only briefly touched upon what exists in the States in canon, like the Salem's Institute for Witches, and the fact that we have a Quidditch team, and that's actually true in real life, too. There's Quidditch teams all over the United States. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works, though.
Well,
Like,
no,
it's
there's
like
it.
Somebody way up high has like a fishing pole.
No.
and they put the little,
No.
Counterbalance.
There's an
Then they just-
actual International Quidditch Association, and there's a rule book and everything. There's a few universities who have a Quidditch
It's
team.
people strapped to drones that have their own
Yeah.
remote controls, and they just kind of fly themselves around.
That's what I was thinking. Like they chase after a drone.
One of these days, I'll bring in the rule book and describe to you what it is. It's
Okay.
actually pretty fun.
I
But
am almost afraid to even see this.
no, it's pretty fun. Imagine dodgeball and soccer had a child and made you ride on a little tiny baby dust broom. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's very comical.
Sounds dangerous, actually.
It is dangerous.
Oh, good.
But so what's going on with this new confangled SpiderMan film that they're trying to do?
Well, Sony and Marvel have reportedly trimmed down their list for who's going to be Spider-Man and the director for the new Spider-Man reboot, because we haven't had enough of those.
Yes,
in
but
recent
this
years.
time it's not going to be an origin story.
Oh yes, no. Forget the origin story. I think we know.
We know
what
all about
Spider-Man-
that.
How radioactive, magical.
We know the three
Mag-
different origin
magically
stories,
radioactive.
pretty much.
It'll be in there
Yeah.
somewhere, I guarantee it.
Like in a flashback.
Right.
Like just in
Half
case,
an hour
just in case you
flashback
didn't know.
at the beginning.
It'll be one of those like time skip stop motion things
Oh,
where it
Lord.
fast forwards through it really quickly.
So, how do you say his first name? Asa?
Asa Butterfield.
Asa Butterfield. And the Impossible.
Tom Holland is also one of the front runners.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I can't speak today.
for Peter Parker. Yeah. And
Forgive me.
they said that Matt Lintz is still in the running, as well as Charlie Rowe. So, I mean, all of them have submitted their screen test stuff. So now it's just up for, the people in charge to decide.
So get on the hype train for the new Spider-Man if you want to.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I'm so curious how it's going to come out, because this is a weird, crossover between Sony and Marvel to get back Spider-Man, but what they're going to get in return, and it's just...
Well, I think
such
Marvel's
a
going to be
mess.
primarily in charge of the story itself as opposed to Sony. And Sony's going to be more in charge of the
Raking in the
filming.
cash?
The filming, and the filming
Yeah.
aspect of it. But
Right.
Disney's like, look, Sony, you can do everything else, but we're going to take care of the story. If you don't mind, we'll at least get that done.
And this kind of in a way sets the way for Marvel reacquiring Spider-Man officially in full. Next on the list would be X-Men. So, I mean,
yeah, because there's been a lot of backlash to that. They've been releasing a lot of merchandise where they take like classic comic book covers, like Secret Wars and so forth, and altering them where they're stripping out all the X-Men, all the Fantastic Four, characters like that, and replacing them with ones that were never even there, just to be like, look, we're not giving you anything on the
yeah,
marketing
I mean,
side.
they've totally stopped the Fantastic Four comic and whatnot. And
First
they're-
time in 50
and
years.
what's really cool though, for the Spider-Man thing, and this kind of sets there is a new issue coming out this week that is part of the Secret Wars thing.
Yeah.
Where I think it was back in the 90s, there was this one special Spider-Man, like 3 issues, where he and Mary Jane got married, and then that marriage was subsequently erased by some deal with the devil or something like
that
that.
was only a few years ago. It was the One More Day where he got
One
to
more day, yeah, and basically they're
Made a deal with the devil.
Mephisto. Close enough.
It got
Technically the devil.
It got erased in any
Marvels.
case, and now in this episode, in this issue, I don't recall the name of the issue right now. I can hear my friends at New Force screaming the title at me right now from all the way over there.
I just read it earlier, trying to think what the name was.
And it basically goes into the alternate timeline of where the marriage wasn't erased and he and Mary Jane stayed together and have a daughter. So it's very interesting in seeing an adult Peter Parker who's now, really into being a dad and doing that kind of stuff. But he's still fighting crime, but there's all the other heroes that were in his area are now gone. So all of their nemesis are now his nemesis.
Right.
So he'll be out late and working.
They're trying to make that actual canon. They're kind of undoing what they did back then.
Yeah,
to keep this going.
they realized the mistake they made, so now they're getting back onto it. And speaking of things involved with Disney, since Marvel is now owned by Disney, good segue.
Cartoons.
There. Walt Disney Animation has announced today that Tangled.
Jeremy, you should be excited.
Is going to have a new animated series based on the 2010 film. It's begun production. Good news is Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi are going to be reprising their voiced roles as Rapunzel and Flynn Rider.
Which is surprising because that usually doesn't happen when you take a movie and turn it into a series.
It's
usually.
Disney. They have more money than God, so
probably.
they can afford to pay them for it, I'm assuming. And Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi might have really loved the roles, so they might have agreed anyway.
And they're probably getting paid really well.
Exactly.
So they love the
Here's
paycheck.
your bricks of gold for today.
Exactly.
Right.
The series is set to premiere on Disney Channel in 2017. I know I, for one, will be tuning in primarily.
The regular Disney Channel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Primarily because, Tangled was my favorite, most recent Disney princess film because it was just so nice and happy. And Alan Menken is going to be returning to compose stuff, so that's cool. And
Bring back everyone.
the series itself is set between the events of Tangled and the start of the 2012 short film called Tangled Ever After, which was it premiered before one of the other movies. I don't remember which one off the top of my head.
Probably the one that starts with the F.
Probably
ends with the
not.
N,
No, it's not, because I went
maybe.
and saw Frozen in theaters and it
Okay.
didn't. So the animated series unfolds as Rapunzel acquaints herself with the parents and the people of Corona, where she finds that there's much more to learn before she can truly accept that she's royal. She boldly puts on her crown and impending marriage on hold to seek out epic adventures, much to the dismay of the king, who, after missing out on Rapunzel's youth, must accept that his daughter is now an independent young woman. The TV show will also features the chameleon, Pascal, the horse, Maximus, and there's the snuggly duckling pub thugs, the ones that sing about all the different stuff.
That was
and
hilarious.
then newcomer Cassandra, who is a tough-as-nails handmaiden who becomes Rapunzel's confidant, so her best friend, in other words. So they released this promotional image. You can find it online right now. I think IGN has an example of it. But it's uncertain if that's going to be the style for it. It's either going to be actual cartoon, or it's going to be a CGI style. They haven't really announced it.
I could probably see it more as a CGI just because it keeps the cost down. They already had it as CGI.
They already have the
just
models,
continue it, yeah. They probably won't use those same models. They'll do a little bit simpler ones so they can actually render it in time.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, the models that exist, they might alter it slightly just for sake of space.
a lot of it's also like background details and stuff when they do that, but they can do it. I mean,
Thankfully, they already have it. If it's mainly based in Corona, they already have all the background stuff. They
Right.
could just reuse it. I mean, Disney's famous for that. Let's look for a moment at the animation stills from Snow White to Robin Hood. The exact same thing.
There you go.
yep.
And
Ooh,
Caleb,
yes.
you want to talk about
Yeah.
Megaman very briefly?
Sure. Capcom has announced that Megaman will be in an all-new 26-episode TV series starting in 2017.
So many things coming.
So
So
many
many.
things. 2017. The Entertainment USA will partner with
Dentsu Entertainment.
Dentsu Entertainment
Yeah.
of USA. Will partner with the Man of Action Entertainment to develop the Megaman series for a global audience. Now, for those who don't know, Man of Action Entertainment made the Ben 10 and Generator Rex cartoons, which I like both of them.
Oh, the Ben 10 series was actually very good.
Yeah.
I thought those were actually pretty hilarious.
They are very hilarious, believe it or not.
That's why children should never have superpowers.
Exactly.
It's a good example of what goes wrong.
Exactly.
So I mean, that's pretty cool. So there's going to be a lot of action in it, probably, and a bit of comedy, because that's what they do. You know, they're pretty good at it. So I'd watch it.
No, not to throw my age out there. I don't know. Do you guys ever remember seeing anything of Captain N and the Game Master?
Kind of.
Yes.
Do you remember the voice of Megaman from back then?
Oh, God.
Golly gee, mate. It's just the way he would talk. Catman. Yeah, it was just the most ridiculous thing because they just played him like a midget.
Yes, they did. They did. You're not wrong.
I mean, half the characters in that whole series, like what they did with Mother Brain was just ridiculous. That and Belmont, yeah. Anyway.
Oh, goodness.
I'm hoping this one will be a lot better because coming from the guys from Man of Action, they are really good about doing actual action series and very clean animation too. And as they've shown, at least with Ben 10, they can do a number of different styles because as they went along with it, as he grew, they changed the art to fit it.
Yeah, the style grew up as well.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot.
Worked out really well.
Now, Caleb, what is the song we are featuring now?
The song was suggested to us from someone on YouTube. It is the Tamagotchi Life main theme during the day.
Hooray!
So there's that. And next up, we'll have your Nintendo news.
Inevitably.
The Inevitably. And we'll be right back here on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio.
And we are back on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. My name is Rachel, and I have next to me Jeremy. And then, of course, Caleb.
Hello. I will try to read and speak correctly. I will do my best.
All right, so
Gotcha.
Caleb, let's hear a little bit about this surprise Nintendo tiny announcement. It wasn't really tiny.
Well, Nintendo
Kind of
likes
tiny.
surprises. And they had a little Nintendo Direct Micro, and everything was so tiny.
Like literally the guy was shrunk down onto the desk.
Good old Bill Trinan.
And they went over a couple of, well, it was like, 3DS and Wii U titles. They went and...
Oh,
Bravely
just a few
second?
small ones.
Bravely
they
second?
Bravely
Yes.
second.
Chibi Robo.
Yes.
Yeah, Chibi Robo taking on like a 2D platforming kind of thing with his little
His plug.
His plug.
It was
his
basically
grappling hook.
this entire announcement thing was posted out of nowhere. No warning, no anything. Just, oh, look, here, we're going to announce stuff. And then, oh, you found it 2 days later? Good.
And this is like, it's getting close to E3 and they announced something like this close to it. So it's kind of...
Well, they wanted to focus, and the reason they called it a micro is some of the small stuff they're doing now to get out of the way. So when they do their actual... the direct for E3, they can just do all the big stuff that's for this year and
I don't
early next
consider
year.
Bravely Second small because that's a massive game.
Well, I think they were saying, like, here it is.
Oh, for maybe a smaller
just for, like, an
titles,
announcement.
like a small console, maybe. That's what I think, anyway. But cool thing for you, Chibi Robo Amiibo.
Yeah,
Yep.
bad thing for me is it's only available if you pre-order it because it comes in
Wow.
one set. So I'm going to be fighting for my life to get that thing.
Oh boy.
I will have to get it though because Chibi Robo is one of the handful of games my wife has played completely from beginning to end. She absolutely loves them.
Well, there you go.
Nice.
You let her play the game, and you can have the amiibo.
Play the game too.
Oh, well, let her play it first.
I'll buy 2 copies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
That
they
works,
also announced Dr. Mario Miracle Cure, which will be coming out on June 11th.
Wow, we haven't had a Dr. Mario game in forever.
We had one last year.
And
Well, that is that the remake of the old one though?
No, that was the Dr. Luigi.
Well,
That's also included in this as well, though. It's the cool
Yeah.
thing. It's the first time it's come to 3DS,
okay.
which changed some of the mechanics. They're adding in some of the new modes, much more on the multiplayer for
I didn't
it.
even know about that. I guess it was a very small
well, with
release.
Miracle Cure, they're going to have basically like power-ups and stuff that you can use, but you can turn those off if you're like a vanilla.
Purist, as they put it.
A purist.
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't want to have fun.
Jeremy, tell us about this Splatoon game.
Splatoon!
Since you've
Squid now,
played
you're
it
a
a lot.
squid now.
Well, it's
You're
been
a
basically everyone's been asking me, hey, are you going to play this game or that game or The Witcher and so forth? And it's like, wait, Splatoon, what? It's pretty much taken over the house for how we play it. It's a third-person shooter that's come out for the Wii U only that you basically, the point of it is it's full competitive online, and it gets hectic. It's 3-minute matches that go crazy. But the point is not to kill the other people.
No, kills mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing, except for look.
Yeah, well, you can do it to slow
get out of my
down.
way. I'm going to paint this thing.
But the entire point of it is to cover as much of the area as you can, and that's how you win with the paint, depending on the weapons you use.
So
now,
you're just
is it
constantly
only
shooting.
multiplayer, or is there any sort of campaign?
No, it does have a single player, which it lasts a couple of hours, and you can get the amiibos, the set for those to do some of the challenges.
And the single player is actually pretty good. I like it. It's
It's very
fun,
Mario Galaxy
short.
in the way it's designed.
I
nice.
like that.
Yeah, it's kind of divided into little worlds. There's not like this giant, big complicated story. It's just here's a little thing we thought we'd do. Go do it. We'll do something different later on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And you get blueprints to bring into multiplayer that you can use for like weapons and stuff. So
that's good.
There is something that you get.
And
out
there's a
of it.
functionality between the two, which is really, really good.
Yeah, Nintendo already started releasing free content for it. They've unlocked the rank battle, so you can do that. They've added in a new map that takes place in a shipyard. And, of course, the 1985 gray and, the two-tone gray Zapper is now a weapon as well, or as they call the Zapper 85.
That is so great.
Yeah, the 89 orange one's coming later.
I was surprised that I was still on the fence about getting Splatoon, and I was actually surprised by how how much I enjoyed it because.
And how many times did I keep telling you to get it?
Yeah, I know.
Well,
by the way, I don't have your friend code. I need to get that.
We'll fix that.
Yeah, I need it too.
If anyone else wants to play me online, I'm on Nintendo Network under Psychotic Zen. I'm up for all challenges.
Yes. But so earlier this week, there was a rumor going around that the new Nintendo NX was going to have an Android-based operating system. These rumors are not true. The representatives or spokesperson at Nintendo just pretty much said there is no truth to the report saying that we are planning to adopt Android for NX. So it's not happening. But what if it was?
I was looking forward to the just swath of people taking the Android logo and making it look like every Nintendo character imaginable. That would have been cute.
Ooh, put the little Android robot with the Mario hat on.
A little Star Fox one, with
Oh,
helmet and
that's
stuff
so
on and metal
cute.
legs. Of course, it'd be a Splatoon one. They'd have to
Oh,
be.
Of course,
yes,
covered
of
in
course.
paint.
I mean, they could have made all kinds of jokes with it because, they've got Rob. They could have tied that in there.
Could have.
You've got the, of course, they had Rob 64, which is a version from Star Fox. You can make it a chibi robo thing. Just all kinds of little robots they could mix it with for fun.
But it is not true.
Nope.
It's not.
It is not true.
True
It's
at
not
all.
confirmed.
Well, I mean, I didn't for once think that it would be. Period, though, because Jeremy and I were talking a little bit earlier
Right.
about how pretty much every Nintendo console, aside from the N64 and the Super Nintendo and stuff,
Right.
have had an actual loading menu on operating custom design system.
Yeah, I mean,
thing.
the Nintendo 64 did have one for the disk drive. That was one of their earliest kind of their own little OS where it would boot up and go into it. And then, of course, from there, we just had the ones for the GameCube and the DS and on. If they did an Android one, a lot of people were assuming, it would just be a bunch of souped-up cell phone games. But they do have other devices like some of the boxes from Razer that are run on an Android operating system, but they play full-powered PC games. It's just the shell that runs what's going on there.
It's the look of it, in other words. Probably.
Right, which could have been interesting and customizable. So from that perspective, it actually could have been more possible than I originally thought.
Well,
but-
in my mind, if they're not using Android as it, they might be looking at Android as a base and kind of getting ideas from them, especially since Nintendo is planning to do all these mobile game releases now. They've announced that officially that they're going to be doing some mobile phone released games at some point. That's in there.
Yeah, those are supposed to do come later this year, the first one at least.
So, I mean, it's possible that they could be looking at it as a base and okay, we need to consider how they do their operating system and put some of that functionality into ours. Not copying, but kind of
Right.
base it off of.
I mean, the biggest thing is we already know this year at E3 we're not going to get anything about the NX. They've made that very clear. We're still strictly the Wii U and the 3DS.
They have run it into the ground pretty much. That thing is in a time capsule and will not be opened until the date that it is set to be opened.
I understood why they first had to say something about it when they announced for the cell phone games because a lot of people are like, oh crap, they're getting out of gaming. But
Well-
now they're probably like, I wish we just would have shut our mouths.
Open mouth,
'Cause
insert foot.
Developers are even using that as an excuse not to make games for it now.
Pretty
Yeah.
Like
much.
Project Cars.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, we're just going to wait for the NX. I'm sure they'll talk about that.
It's like, no, developers, calm
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
So next up, we have our nerd vocab. Jake is not here today, so
Words.
Somebody.
Jeremy, do you
I'll
want
do
to
it.
do
Jeremy.
Oh, not yet, though.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not right
though.
now. Yeah.
Let's do a quick break. We're just introing it, but I'll give you
I'm ready.
one. I'll give you one hint as to what it is relating
Words. Words never change.
to. Exactly. And Boston.
So,
So
Baston. So the song we're going to play during the break is a Reading Rainbow cover by B. Quinn live. I hope I said that right, Kyle. He has some music on YouTube and SoundCloud.
you got the thumbs up from Kyle.
Awesome.
Yes.
We should have gotten a
Cool.
Boston
I
song.
did something right. That is a point. That is a win for me.
Boston. Yeah, we should have.
And we'll be right back here on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio.
All right, and welcome back to the Nerd Edification Hour over on Alternation Radio. I'm Jeremy Powers, and to my left,
I'm Rachel.
and the other guy.
And I'm Caleb. I'm the other guy.
The other
The other
guy.
guy. Jeremy, why don't you go ahead and do the honors of...
Our nerd vocab for today is fallout. This is radioactive particles that are carried into the atmosphere after a nuclear explosion or accident and gradually fall back as dust or in precipitation.
So it's nasty.
And the reason why this is our nerd vocab today is there was a very special announcement from Bethesda today. Fallout 4.
Dun, dun, dun.
And there's a
So-
dog.
Yes, there's a dog. Basically, guys, it's steampunk Fallout in Boston featuring the Call of Duty dog. That's literally what it is.
Hopefully
literally.
more livelier than the Call of Duty dog.
A lot more livelier than the Call of Duty dog. And by lively, we mean friendly.
But yep, basically going from there, Fallout is back, and as expected, it's headed to post-apocalyptic Boston. And then
Fun.
they kind of messed up and announced it about an hour early.
Well, they didn't do the
screenshot,
teaser.
yeah.
They released the screenshot first.
The trailer
an
was on
accident,
time.
and the trailer was on time, but the screenshot was not. And then they quickly pulled it. It's official. It's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. PC. Yes, PC. Exactly.
Yay.
It's been 7 years. It's been 7 years.
7 long-awaited years.
Yes, since Bethesda Game Studios' last Fallout game, which was New Vegas, it came out in 2010, and that's not counting the Game of the Year edition or whatever they call it these days. And it was developed by Obsidian. People have been going nuts in anticipation for what we all assumed would be the next Fallout 4. So it's official now. After releasing the Skyrim
Scrolls.
game, in 2011, Bethesda Game Studios moved on to the next Fallout, and they actually released a teaser trailer for the game. You can find it online. Once again, it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It's going to be cool. It's like, I have some friends of mine who are very excited that it's going to be based in Boston because that's their hometown. So I have a feeling that when they're playing the game, they're going to look for actual references that are, places they go every day and whatnot.
And see them destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. What an interesting, they could probably post a before, now, and in-game
That's
photo.
half of my favorite building.
Oh, no.
I found half of my house.
Oh,
it's
there-
still here.
Oh.
I don't think they'll go into that detail because the nice thing is they base a lot of the Fallout games. It's kind of like if the nuclear attacks had happened, or in fact the 50s lifestyle had continued, they'd gotten advanced technology but kept the stylings of it, and then there was a nuclear war. So they can kind of base everything around that 50s design and trim out anything that happened afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So they stick with the much older
Yeah,
buildings and
it-
things that kind of fit.
It definitely has like
Yeah.
an old.
So your house is probably not there.
Right.
feel to it.
The design of it itself, from what I've seen, has kind of a steampunk feel, which is very, very nice.
Yeah, Fallout's been really
And
good
that's
about
all
that.
you have to work
Also,
with after.
another thing to look out for in the Fallout games is, and they've done this since the very first Fallout game. All the Doctor Who references, they're everywhere. They are literally everywhere. So keep an eye out for them. Yes, definitely. I'm excited.
I don't remember
I
what
know
the ones from 3 were. I remember there was in the original one, you could randomly find the TARDIS.
you could, and in the second one, I think there was a TARDIS sound, and you could find like the piece of it, like the police call sign. Somewhere in the third one, I think it was just really small references, probably the TARDIS sound again.
Right.
But nothing more. I'm not sure. I'll have to look up what the third one was. And I don't know if there was one in New Vegas. But once again, I'll have to look those up. And that's an idea for another segment for us, is finding references in games.
Oh,
So
I
like
can
an
do
Easter
that.
egg
That'll
segment?
be really fun.
I can do that.
So that's maybe an idea for a new segment, guys. Give us your input. Let us know what you think about that.
Yeah.
I, for one, would be very excited to do that.
Maybe I'll use that one on my show.
Oh, ooh. I'm
Payback.
I've got it right now. Let's go. Let's do this. Okay. But that's that bit of a Fallout news. Oh, and this will be pretty exciting for you, Caleb, this next bit of news.
Oh, are we going straight into it?
Why not?
Okay, let's go straight into it. I think we're out of
Why
time.
the heck not?
Let's do it.
He didn't sound
All
too
right.
excited.
So, finally, we've done it. Everyone of the PC Master Race.
Streamers,
High five.
confetti,
Everyone.
pop banger things.
Wait, you play games on PC?
Yes, I have a
No.
PC.
Oh, well, yeah. She finally has joined the PC Master Race.
I am the every console
So,
and PC race.
starting as of yesterday, Valve announced that Steam will finally be doing the word that I'm looking for, refunds.
Yes, it's finally going to have a proper refund system.
I didn't want to say that. I want to take his fun away.
I was having fun, but then my brain farted and I couldn't think of the word. So yes, after a long awaited, they're finally doing this, and they have put out the guidelines saying, okay, you have 14 days to get a refund, and you would have to have played less than 2 hours.
Yes, that's correct. And
To
I
me,
mean,
both of those you can get.
coming from someone who used to work for GameStop, and they would buy the game, beat it in a day, return it. They just treat it like a rental
Yeah.
system, pretty much
Yeah.
is what they would do. So and the good thing about Steam on this is they know when you purchased it, because there's a database online of when it was purchased. They know how much time that you've spent playing it, because have you ever left a review on a game and it's recorded and underneath it, whether you gave it a good review or a bad review, it shows how many hours you've spent playing that game. So even if you say you've only played it for an hour and a half, they know you've played it for 6. So
Yeah.
I for one
And,
agree with the terms, because
Yeah, I mean, that seems reasonable.
it's reasonable. It's very
good.
reasonable.
Like,
Because if you don't like a game, you won't play it for more than 30, 40 minutes, I assume.
and let's say you buy a game that goes on sale directly after you buy it, you can totally refund your game and then buy it while it's on sale. They said that's totally legit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, some of the other stuff I
real.
can see people doing is like the issues like with The Witcher, where if you were running an AMD card versus an NVIDIA and you get the game and it doesn't run really well or something going wrong with it, you'd be like, okay, well, I didn't know it was going to do that. You can back out of it and
Then
Yeah.
if you get a better graphics card later, you can purchase it again.
right.
So, I mean, this is good because, you can get your money back for DLC. Say that you don't like the DLC at all. Be like, whatever. I was having more fun playing it the other way. Get back the DLC. Bundles, same difference. Pre-purchased game, which will make pre-orders feel like less of a risk.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Which is really
yes.
good, because I know for one, like at most things, when you pre-order things, you put just a little bit down and you pay more on it later. Unless you're purchasing it from like an online place like the PlayStation Store
You gotta
or
pay it in
this,
front.
you have to pay it up front, and it's not refundable. Now for the Steam, it is too. So now that Steam is doing this, it might pave the way for other digital stuff, digital stores like the PlayStation Store and the Xbox market to do the same thing without having to, jump through all the hoops and ladders of contacting the company.
Yeah, I'm guessing all the people that pre-bought, all excited for Colonial Marines, are wishing they had this.
Oh, But once a pre-purchased game is out, however, Valve says that the standard refund restrictions will apply. So there you go.
It's good.
You can also get refunds on Steam Wallet funds, although they won't be available for gifts, movies, or games purchased outside of Steam and used on that platform. So There's that. And it's also worth noting via Valve's FAQ, refunds are designed to remove the risk from purchasing titles on Steam, not as a way to get free games. If it appears to us that you are abusing refunds, we may stop offering them to you.
They will cut
which
you
is
out.
basically a leaf out of GameStop's book, because
Yeah.
when people would do that and we would notice that would happen, we'd put a note in the system: do not allow this person to do not allow this person to exchange games. So.
Yep.
Yeah, done.
They know. They all know. Trust me. There's no way you can get around it unless you're just
Santa's
really
watching.
sneaky.
Santa's watching.
Exactly. Santa is watching. So they, however, they said we do not consider it abuse to request a refund on a title that was purchased just before a sale and then immediately rebuying the title for the sale price. So as you said before, just kind of reiterating, but
Yep.
That's just common practice for a lot of places. It's nice that they can actually support that now as well.
yeah, it's a great thing. Good job, Steam. You've done something right. Now
After the whole Skyrim mod thing, I think what it is like, here's our peace offering. Look, we finally have refunds. Next time they do something wrong, it's going to be Half-Life 3. Here you go. We're so sorry.
Well, that's
You
what I
can
was
have
about to
it.
say. Maybe Valve can now learn how to count to 3.
So they just kind of have it like on a shelf somewhere, like it's already made.
It's
They're just
already
like,
made?
"Well, we'll just keep it there just
And
in case we
nobody
mess
said
up big
anything?
time." And we'll say, "Here it is. There you go."
Another bit
Be
of
happy.
video game related news. Sony is apparently going to release 2 new PS4 models soon. One of them is going to come with a 1 terabyte hard drive. Now,
fancy.
that's according to basically certification documents that were spotted on the U.S. Federal Communications Commission, the FCC site, and picked up by the site Dual Shockers. These models, I'm not going to read those numbers because they they're useless and nobody know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
It's the product numbers basically. They're variations of the same model, with the difference essentially being the hard drive size. The first one is going to be a variant of the pre-existing 500 gigabyte model, but the 1 terabyte version is going to be with a 1 terabyte. It doesn't appear that either of the new models will be a full redesign of the current console, such as like we saw on the PS3 Slim and the PS3 Super Slim, which in my mind was just dumb. But rather, this is kind of changing the internal components. What internal components are changing, I don't know, aside from the hard drive, of course.
Right.
To that
It's going to
end.
have drone compatibility.
Well,
fly.
to that end, one of the most notable changes comes from the power source. They're changing the wattage from 250 to 230, and the amperage is going to change as well,
Right.
which will be a good thing in terms of power and heat of the system, I imagine.
Yeah, and this is actually really common. I mean, it was more noticeable for like the Xbox 360 when they made the changes because they physically changed the outside 3 times or twice. On that
And
one.
not to mention the cords.
Yeah, that changed a few times as well.
I think there's
the
12 different
software.
versions of the power cord for the Xbox 360. I'm not even joking.
There's 3.
Oh, yeah, but it feels like 12, let
I
me
know.
tell you.
It feels like 12 because you're like,
Because-
do you have this? Let's get them out.
Yeah. So basically, you have to look at it like on the 360, and I hope to God that they're not going to do this, which I don't think they will. They know better, I believe. But with the Xbox 360, there are 2 of them look exactly the same, except for one tiny piece of plastic that is smaller than my pinky nail, and that's it. It's ridiculous. So I hope that they don't do that.
There's a lot of differences with that, though, like how they've changed the brick in there, how much power it's sending. If it fit in the other one, could cause major issues.
Right.
But like a lot of earlier systems, the original PlayStation saw 7 different iterations on it. The PS2 saw alterations on the internal guts. The GameCube changed 4 or 5 times. So
Yeah.
it never looked different.
It never looked different, but the only thing that was different was really the colors.
Wasn't even that. Like on the inside, I had to work on them for
Yeah.
a project to
Yeah.
make a portable.
Right.
And there was some of them that would be completely missing 2 or 3 entire boards because they'd shrunk them down and put them on another one or changed how they ran.
Right.
So
I remember the first model had like an Ethernet port or like a LAN port on the bottom.
And that was
And-
for Phantasy Star.
Yep.
I remember that.
Nobody in
all
the
of them
U.S.
still
really
had-
used it though.
Because
there was a
nobody
couple
knew
games.
what
Fantasy Star used it.
Yeah,
Mario
but
Kart used
it wasn't talked about.
Oh,
at
yeah, it
length.
wasn't talked about at all.
So, but a lot of changes like this happen a lot. It's just more publicized now because the PS4 is such a huge popular.
The biggest thing is
thing.
it's cost effective.
Yes.
As they go along, they make it cheaper. That's how they can make more of a profit off
Yeah,
of it.
the only
selling
thing they
it.
got to be careful of, though, is if they're making it cheaper, is make sure the materials themselves aren't cheaper, because then you have the
Don't pull an
PS.
Xbox.
Well, the PS3 Super Slim, while it's a good console, it looks like a PS2. It literally looks like a PS2. It feels like a PS2.
Yeah, it's meant to be a cheaper option for it, but it still plays it. I just find it funny they're worried about the hard drive size on the one system that you can literally change the hard drive
Yeah.
on.
Well, they were. I honestly think that they wanted this option open to people that don't, even though it's extremely easy to change out a PS4 hard drive. Here, I'll detail it right now. You slide open the top panel, make sure the system's off, make sure you've transferred all your data to the new hard drive, and
Ta-da.
so forth.
It takes about 20 minutes
And then
tops.
plug it in, put it in, and then, or make sure it's copied. So then you have a copy somewhere if you need to transfer it again if it doesn't work. And then install the operating system. Boom, you're done. It takes maybe an hour,
For the Xbox One, you just have to buy another one,
pretty much.
which isn't even available yet.
Nope.
They had one limited edition 1 terabyte system, and that was it. It was
That was
gone
it.
in a day.
Yeah,
Gone.
that's true.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I think that's it for that. Next up,
Yeah.
we'll have your technology news.
Yes, indeed.
And the song we're going to play during the break is actually it's from Phil, or otherwise known as on his YouTube channel Ty Philosian.
Typhlosion. Yay!
Typhlosion is kind of a play on his name, and he's working on a secret project for us. I'm just going to tease that.
Yes,
but it's
he
a
is.
little secret project. You can go check him out. It's his Twitter is @Ty Philosian, and his channel is Ty Philosian. He does a lot of music stuff. And
He's in
this-
Australia, right?
Yes.
Yes, he's from Australia.
And the song, he is like an original piece. It's kind of inspired by Fairy Tale. So it'll sound a lot like it, but it's kind of what he made up. So,
Hooray!
and the song name is Dragon Reborn. And we'll be right back here on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. Welcome back to the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. I'm Caleb.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jeremy.
And now we have your technology news. Google had a really big event, the Google I/O keynote, something like that.
Yep.
And it focused mostly on optimizing the Android operating system,
Yep.
which is a pretty big project, after they made the outside look all fancy and stuff. Now they're going to work on the inside, yeah. So a lot of updates involve, reducing friction. There were, updates to the Android design to make moving between apps and
the
your
web and
games
all that kind of stuff
all
smoother.
easiher. So the and then the what's about Android Wear? What's up with that?
I have no.
No idea.
Um,
like the
What it
Android
is
watch.
some of their like the watches they have that are or compatible with it are running off of those. It's make it easier to glean information from the watch faces at a glance, so you can customize how
Oh,
those
so it
designs
looks
are.
better. Okay.
Right.
And then the new photo app will organize your pictures and then back them up for free.
Ah,
Full freezy.
free.
Yeah. So, but traditionally in like the past, Android gives you this like wall of permission requests,
Which terrifies some of my friends.
access your location, your microphone, whenever you install a new app. That's all
camera.
supposed to be changing with this new Android M. There are a few update categories. You'll no longer be asked to look at them on installation. Instead, Google will ask you to approve individual permissions when the developer calls them up. You can also look up everything the app is accessing or which ones are using, say, your calendar or your camera. So it's going to be a little bit more functional, as it were, and
Yeah.
instead of, just hit yes.
Just say yes. It'll be fine. It'll be good. It'll be okay.
And then also there's a new feature called Doze, which is an effort to save battery life. Android M uses this motion detection system to go into deeper sleep if unactive for longer periods of time. So it's going to potentially save a lot of battery life. So instead of, say, for example, like when you could put you on most, on laptops at least, Windows laptops, there's four selections: log off, shut down, sleep, or hibernate. Sleep and hibernate are very similar functions, except sleep kind of leaves it partially running. Hibernate is like turning it off but keeping your session.
Yeah, basically takes it, writes your session to the hard drive, shuts everything down that it needs to, and then it'll pull that back up.
Right. So I'm in my mind, doze sounds like the same thing as hibernate to me, as it were, without turning it completely off.
Yeah, it's supposed to, save battery life, turn off, unwanted apps who are like using power constantly for whatever reason.
And I honestly think Apple should consider doing something like this as well. And now that Google's doing it, they
probably will.
They probably will. Expect that in the new iOS update.
And it'll be their new original idea.
Just like Microsoft and Sony
Pretty much.
sitting around waiting for Nintendo to reveal their new console, and then a year later they'll put out theirs. I'm just saying it's a conspiracy. I believe it. I'm just saying.
I don't think they're going to do that. PS4 is where it needs to be right now, so I don't see them doing anything.
I never
new.
used mine. I even canceled my online for it. I was like, I just never use it.
I use
Smash Brothers or Splatoon on the PS4. Can you?
I play my 4 and my PC. That's what I play now, pretty much. But they're also giving more details about Android Pay, which is Google's answer to Apple Pay, as well as a second chance at the largely failed Google Wallet service. Android Pay will let you make a purchase in apps or tap an NFC sensor to pay for physical goods. Android Pay will work with phones running KitKat and higher, which is the current existing version of the Android OS. It's supposedly being pre-installed by AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Google promises 700,000 stores will be accepting it, including Chipotle and Dunkin' Donuts.
Chipotle.
So basically, you've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh.
And if your phone has a fingerprint
Mine
sensor,
does.
I was going to say yes.
you can use it to authenticate payment.
Yes.
Nice.
I was going to say that the thumb thing, you could do that.
Yes, and there's a whole bunch of other news that has been announced from the Google I/O keynote, but they're just simply, we did not have enough time
We
to
just
talk
couldn't
about
put it
all.
all in there. It was a lot.
So there was a lot, we got to pick and choose stuff. So if you want to know more information on what Google announced at their keynote thing,
interwebs
just
are your best
Google
friend.
2015 Google I/O keynote. So there's a whole bunch of stuff still going on.
Yes.
Seeing that they own YouTube, I'm sure it's on YouTube.
Oh, probably everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
There's probably advertisements on YouTube videos for it.
Yeah. Whether you like it or not.
Yes. These will be unskippable.
Wow.
It's the entire keynote between every episode. I just want to watch a 3-minute video for the next hour and a half.
Oh, no. But yep, that's pretty much all we have for today.
That'll be it. Thank you for listening or watching, whichever you prefer.
Yes, remember to like our Facebook page. It's the Nerd Edification Hour. And also visit Strangely Entertaining on YouTube, as well as Jeremy's Zenspath stuff on zenspath.com, correct?
I'm pretty
and
sure
then
he's
Zenspath, COM for YouTube, and then @Zenspath for Twitter.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
You probably just look all that up on Google. It'll show up somewhere, I'm sure. The outro, that's what I would do. I was like, I'm just going to Google
Yeah,
it.
I'll Google.
Totally
I'll just
Google it. You can Google it.
So the outro song we have is yet again from the Megaman remix soundtrack, and it is from the Megaman X3, the Gravity Beetle stage.
Gotta love Megaman.
And yes, until next week, stay fancy. Bye.